Hey guys, welcome to the MERN Stack Front to Back course. If you're interested in full stack JavaScript, this will most likely be one of the courses that you'll get the most out of. Okay, it's not a slow-paced beginner course. It's very hands-on. We're going to build and deploy a small social network using Node.js, Express, React, Redux, and MongoDB. All right, so this course is for people that want to learn how to build an application using the MERN stack. And I'm not talking about like a small to-do list app or anything like that. We're talking about a pretty extensive API with stateless JSON Web Token authentication, in-depth profiles with education and experience credentials, posts with likes and comments, and so on. All right, now I highly recommend that you at least know the basics of Node.js and React before taking this course. And I'm not saying that if you don't, you're going to be completely lost, because I do my best to explain everything as I go. I try to explain every line of code that I write. But you should know at least the basics. At least watch maybe a few crash courses on YouTube or something like that. Okay, it's definitely not an introduction to Node or an introduction to React course. We won't be looking at every little aspect in detail of the technologies. We'll be using all the practical parts of it to build and deploy a real-world application. So I just want to make it clear what this course is before you get into it, and it's not what you expect, okay? It's not, React for beginners or anything like that. And it's also not a very, very advanced course either. I don't want it to come off as that. It's very intermediate. All right, so let's look at some of the technologies that we'll be using. We'll be using a lot of ES6 plus JavaScript, including arrow functions, destructuring, high order array methods, and so on. Of course, Node.js and Express for our backend server and our API, MongoDB for our database, React for our front end framework, Redux for application state. We'll be using Bootstrap 4 for the UI, and we'll be using Heroku and Git for deployment. All right, now this isn't going to be a course that has like 4 or 5 small to-do list type projects. We'll be focused on building one pretty large application. I wouldn't say large in relative to live applications on the internet, but large relative to course applications. So it'll be a social network. We'll be able to sign up, log in, create a pretty extensive profile. As you can see over here, we're going to integrate GitHub repos. You'll have a dashboard where you can create experiences, experience credentials, education credentials, edit your profile. We'll have an area for posts. You'll be able to like posts and leave comments and things like that. So it's a pretty decent sized application. And in the next video, I'll give you a little sneak peek of the actual working application as well. So as far as the plan goes for the course, we're going to start off with building our backend. We're going to create all of our routes. We'll have protected routes with authentication using Passport and JWT. We'll do all of our testing with Postman, which is an HTTP client. Once our backend is complete, we'll explore the custom Bootstrap theme that I created, and you'll get a full HTML version that will be basically converting into a real application. All right, then we'll start to implement React on the front end. We'll connect React and Express together so that we can run both dev servers with one command. We'll also implement Redux for app state management. I'll go through what Redux is and how we set up the boilerplate and all that, reducers, actions, all that stuff. Once the full stack app is complete, we'll create a post build script and we'll push it to Heroku. Okay, we're going to have it so that the React application gets compiled and built on Heroku as opposed to us having to do it manually. All right, so that is the gist of the course. Hopefully you enjoy it. There's a ton to learn as far as how to use all of these technologies and how to make them all work together. So that's it. Let's go ahead and get started.